Hey, what's happening, guys? Mike Moo here. There are now two fees for Sinemia. And it was before it was Canadians and people outside the US that had to pay an additional fee called the processing fee. Now there's a convenience fee and a processing fee. If you want to go ahead and try to avoid the convenience fee, which is $1.50 imposed by Sinemia, you can go ahead and check out my video. It's called the Sinemia Tip, How to Stop Paying Convenience Fees When Booking Online. Unfortunately, now there is a payment processing fee in which they pass along a fee of $1.80 or more. For me, it's $1.80 here in Southern California, but for you, it could be up to $2 or $3. And currently, I have not found a way to go ahead and avoid those fees through some other third-party movie booking system. Okay, so unfortunately, there's no thing. So potentially now with Sinemia, with my monthly 3-movie a plan deal, I'm going to be paying $5.40 every month for the additional processing fees. The processing fees, according to Sinemia, are specifically imposed, and they're passing along these fees by their credit card processing. Now, you might be wondering, why do we have to pay these fees? Well, it's a little bit kind of shady. When you go out to a place like a restaurant, or you go shopping, retail, or online, typically the credit card companies say that they're not allowed to go ahead and pass these fees onto the consumer. So what do the people do over at the retailers? Well, they build it into the cost of their products, or they just choose not to accept credit cards. Now, we typically don't have to pay. Usually it's the merchants that go ahead and pay. But if you look at the Sinemia terms and conditions, they agree to pay for your movie ticket, but not these additional fees that might be added on. Yes, that does seem a little shady, especially compared to everybody else, where they don't pass along such fees out there in the open specifically. And Sinemia has chosen to go ahead and do this. Now, the legalities of this, I'm not exactly sure, since I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you that if you look at their terms and conditions, which now I'm on the website right now, and I'm trying to find where the terms and conditions. I did a whole long video about this, which is basically the whole, like a podcast about this, about exploring alternatives. It only had 164 views, but I talked about how a lot of these things are not shadily, but they're built into the fine print that you agree to when you go ahead and sign up for such service, which basically states they have a right to go ahead and change some of their terms and conditions without notice. Okay, so basically, like a lot of you, I had moved on from MoviePass onto Sinemia. I actually have both, but with the Sinemia, and they went and suddenly these fees just started showing up, just like for the rest of you. So let's see. Frequently asked questions. No, not here. Where are the terms and conditions? Let me just Google it. It's probably easier to look for the Sinemia terms and conditions. So with that in mind, what you got to do is you got to do your own, okay, so it's just /terms. What you got to go ahead and do is do the math for yourself. Figure out what it is that you need and whether or not such a plan is going to make sense for you. So looking at the whole Sinemia thing with the standard classic plan that I was on, again, it was $5.40 plus the additional, I believe, $9.99. Let's go ahead and take a look at the plans right now. Plans and pricing. You're looking at, was it $15, $16 a month for 3? Okay, so see, it's $9.99 a month plus $5.40 minimum right now in processing fees. But that could end up being $3 per order per person. So it could end up being still $20 for 3 movies, which brings it up, it's not as great of a deal now, because you can almost do the same thing by just going to Costco specifically. So first I want to make a recommendation about this. One is that if you're thinking about switching over to MoviePass, I'd say, at least for me in Southern California, that's on the way out. I mean, if I just go on an app at any given time and I want to try to watch a movie, most of the places around me are just completely sold out. It says no more showings at any point in time. So, for instance, I'm looking at AMC Montebello, which is one of the closer AMCs to where I'm at right now, at AMC Atlantic Times Square, And it's not even noon yet, and there are no screenings whatsoever. And when there are, it's usually one movie, and it's really at a period of time or a time where it is inconvenient for me or my wife to go ahead and watch. So MoviePass has been completely, pretty much useless so far. And so, MoviePass is definitely, I'd say that's an X for me over here. Now, I still have a MoviePass subscription because I paid for the whole year up front. Same thing as Sinemia. I'm not going to be canceling them because I already paid for a whole year up front. So just beware of this. And maybe you might want to consider doing the monthly and trying out to see if you're okay with Sinemia and their terms and conditions. Okay, so the best alternative I would say is if you have if you have an AMC near you, you should definitely join the AMC AList. It is only $19.95 a month for 3 movies every single week. So if you're looking at a 4-week period during a month, they reset every Friday. You're getting 12 movies for $19.95 plus tax a month, and there's a 3-month commitment. But you get to watch any format that you like, any of the premium formats that you like. So if they have IMAX, if it is Dolby, whatever, 3D, it doesn't cost extra. I go into more details on that in my other videos. Okay, so I'd say just go ahead and go over to AMC if you don't want to deal with any of this BS with the Sinemia. I feel like Sinemia is just pretty much just nickel and diming a lot of us customers at this point in time. Now, if you're okay with the pricing, and for me, it's going to be $5.40 plus $9.99, right? So that makes it $14.99. I don't remember if I had to pay taxes on it. I probably do. So 14. Okay. So I'm looking at 16, potentially up to $16 or $17 a month for 3 movies out. Now, I'm just raising the payment processing fees just a little bit because a lot of people have been talking about how in the terms and conditions it said they could charge up to $3 each. Okay, so going back to about these fees, why are they so high? Well, one is Sinemia saying, look, we're just going to pass these fees right along to you. And number 2 is maybe we need to mark these fees up a little bit so that we make a little bit of money. I don't know if legally they're allowed to do that, or it's just that their payment processor is just really charging them up the wazoo for these virtual credit card numbers that need to be generated every single time you want to do an advance ticket sale, which is pretty much what you're required to do unless you actually had one of those cards. And if you're holding out for one of those physical cards, chances are it's not going to happen because MoviePass sued Sinemia about distributing these and they successfully won. So unless they come up to some sort of agreement, chances are you're not going to be able to get the physical card, even though they hinted at it a couple of times. And I might have mentioned in the video that maybe there was something that might be happening. But no, that's not the case. Now, why are these fees so high? There's something called, one, you got to pay for the services, right, of the people who are processing these credit card things. Okay, so you got to pay for their services. They're going to tack on some sort of fee along for that. So that's usually some sort of transaction fee plus the card swiping fee, and now probably create a virtual credit card fee and having them manage all of that outside of Sinemia. Why is that? Well, PCI, there's something called PCI compliance, and it is, if you go to PCIsecuritystandards.org, you will find out that there are a lot of security standards that anybody who accepts payments has to adhere to. Okay, if you want to go ahead and offer a Visa, in this case a MasterCard. And that's to prevent against fraud, protecting consumer data, protecting against your customer data against hackers, and that's really pricey. It's really costly to do PCI compliance and security properly if that's not your thing, or if you're not big enough. And Sinemia probably isn't big enough, so they have to outsource all this stuff, and they have to go ahead and partner up with someone to go ahead and handle all these things. I don't know who their payment processor is, but obviously they're charging them quite a lot more than what you would typically hear about. Let's say if you were using Square, where they charge you 30 cents per swipe or something, plus some sort of 2.9% fee. Obviously, it's costing them a lot more to handle this. Okay, to enter the virtual credit cards and all that other stuff. And then there's probably a little bit of markup in there somewhere to administer all this other stuff on their own end. So then we're just stuck holding the fee, which is really, really, really crappy. But again, if you looked at the terms and conditions, they were able to, let's see. Sinemia reserves the right at its sole discretion to change, modify, or add or remove portions of terms of use at any time, okay, without prior notice. So it says that it's your response to check these terms of use periodically for changes and all this stuff. And you know what? There's no other way but to agree to this. You want to sign up. So just keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. For me, it's an additional $5.40 for the 3 movies a month now, just for the standard classic. For you, it might be higher. You know, I budgeted, say, what if they charge you $3 each? And if you have the couples plan where you get 2 at a time, no movie plan 2, or family plan. You get 2 at a time. That's $1.80 per ticket per person. Okay, so that's $3.60 here in Southern California that you're going to have to pay each time in addition to the monthly fee. And if you're not following my tip about having Facebook pay your convenience fees for you, which is typically $1.50 right now, then you're paying even more additional fees, and then none of this stuff makes sense at all for you. Okay, so hopefully I've explained a little bit more about this stuff. There are 2, again, to summarize, there are 2 separate fees. One is a convenience fee, and right now you can circumvent that through a number of ways. One is through membership. Check out my whole video, I talk about that, or just go through my Facebook tip and have them handle the convenience fees. Number 2 is the payment processing fees, which they are passing along, and so far had been anywhere from $1.50 to $3 per person. Probably costs more in different areas. I don't know. For me here in Southern California, it's $1.80 each time. Okay, so there's those 2 different fees. If I ever find out a way to, or have any news about getting rid of both of these fees, I'll be sure to let everybody know. But for now, everybody says no one has shared any single way that you can get rid of those fees unless you have some sort of potential credit card that will handle some of these for you. But I haven't found one of those yet. Okay, so that's it for this video. Please give this a like and subscribe for more. If you have some tips about how you are able to minimize some of these fees, that would be fantastic. For me, there's no other way other than through credit card rewards, and number 2, through the movie rewards, where you get some sort of percentage back. Okay, like AMC stubs, for instance. But that I covered in some other video already, so please check those out. Please go ahead and again, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.